This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
A different shot we start with today, a tower cam shot of Atlanta. A little change of pace, not your usually Rosemary District shot here.
I know, and you know what? I actually just looked what is going on in Atlanta this weekend in the International Fashion Week, if anybody is interested. Also, you can check out the Coca-Cola Museum. Have you ever been there in Atlanta?
No, I was in Atlanta last weekend.
Yeah.
I can tell you there's also a tennis tournament this week.
That is true.
As well, so we each have our own interests here. Good morning, 6 o'clock right now. John Scalzi has details of our Thursday forecast.
It's going to be another hot, warm one here on the Suncoast. Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's, however, perhaps a few more showers around. We have a little more moisture to work with today. A little more moisture means a little better rain chance. So we're looking at about a 30% chance near the coastline. Probably starting earlier on in the early afternoon. Following that, inland rain chances are going to be about 50% or so. That'll be during the later half of the afternoon into the evening hours. Got a little residual cloud cover from showers that occurred yesterday in inland areas. No rain in the forecast for the morning hours, though. We'll be looking at some pretty quiet conditions, I think. Maybe a coastal shower. That's about it. Otherwise, we'll look at a daytime high that tops out again warm with a feels like of about 105. Complete forecast in a minute.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. A little build up there on State Road 70 as you head westbound toward US 301, farther south now into Sarasota County. We'll see plenty of buildup there along the bayfront. Must be some construction work going on there as you pass along Marina Jack, Main Street, Ringling, all along the bayfront where it's Mound right there. 41's called Mound. And then South County, nothing to report at 6:02 on your Thursday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, the country responding to President Trump's sudden and sweeping policy change regarding transgender people in the military.
The president announced that on Twitter yesterday, but as ABC's Emily Rao tells us, one issue is what to do with those currently serving.
A chorus of outraged protesters echoing nationwide.
Trump is a liar!
The about-face in policy coming in a series of early morning tweets. President Trump declaring the U.S. will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military.
I want to be fair, and the best way to do this is have a hearing, not a tweet.
The new policy and how it was announced quickly criticized by Democrats and Republicans alike.
It is a cruel and arbitrary decision designed to humiliate transgender Americans.
And the White House not giving many answers about what's next.
What happens to transgender service members now? Are they immediately thrown out of the military?
That's something that the Department of Defense and the White House will have to work together as implementation takes place and is done so lawfully.
The Pentagon estimates there are roughly 2,500 active duty transgender service members, a group whose rights candidate Trump promised to protect.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
The transgender sister of Jackie Ivanko, who sang at President Trump's inauguration, speaking out.
Us transgender folk can fight just as well as any other American.
And while the policy does appeal to some in his conservative base,
I really don't think that's where transgender belongs.
The fate of thousands of American service members now filled with uncertainty.
The president did successfully change the subject with this series of tweets, but instead of answering questions about Russia, the White House is now having to address what critics call a matter of human rights. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, another setback to the GOP plan to repeal Obamacare. The Senate rejected a Republican plan that would have repealed the Affordable Care Act. This comes as 7 Republicans joined Senate Democrats in a 45-55 vote to defeat the plan. It was the second setback the GOP has suffered just this week in trying to overhaul health care.
Congressman Steve Scalise has been released now from the hospital. He will now start an intensive inpatient rehabilitation process. The 51-year-old congressman has been recovering from life-threatening gunshot wounds for the past 6 weeks. Scalise and 4 others were injured when a gunman opened fire at a baseball field during a Republican congressional baseball team practice. Police arrived that day and killed the shooter.
Frequent flyers will soon see another security change at airports across the country. The TSA is announcing that items larger than a cell phone will have to be put in a separate bin when going through security at U.S. airports. The new procedures include items like iPads, Kindles, and laptops. The measures are already active at 10 airports and will be expanded to all U.S. airports over the next couple of weeks. The TSA says the change affects passengers going through standard lanes, but does not apply to those enrolled in TSA PreCheck. And in consumer news this morning, identity theft crimes are declining. According to the IRS, the number of victims was nearly cut in half last year when compared to the previous year. The numbers dropped nearly 300,000 people. The IRS issues billions of dollars in tax refunds each year, making it a popular target for thieves. Several years ago, the IRS began teaming up with major tax companies to crack down on that problem.
All right, now caught on camera in Southern California, we're seeing video of 3 inmates who escaped from a maximum security prison. Here it is. The inmates used a cell phone to record their jailbreak. One of the inmates lifted a metal screen in order to slip out and travel up to the roof, where they then rappelled down the building. This is a maximum security place. The 3 men were in jail over charges ranging from murder to kidnapping and torture. After 8 days on the run, all 3 were captured. They're back in prison now, facing several more charges. Amazing. And that secure a place, they can still break out.
I know. Well, 6:06 this morning, and we're now learning more about a tragic accident at one of the country's largest state fairs Wednesday night.
As reporter John Lawrence tells us, 1 person was killed and 7 others were injured.
Hours after the 2017 Ohio State Fair started, it suffered the worst disaster in its history.
It's kind of hard to imagine that you have family that goes to a state fair and those calls come that there was a terrible accident, a terrible tragedy, and somebody you love was involved.
A ride at the fair called the Fireball malfunctioned, and an entire row of seats snapped off while it was in motion.
I heard a girl scream help, and I look over and I seen something fly out. And then I seen it slap to the ground.
The whole cart broke off, about 4 of them in it.
1 man was killed, 7 others were injured. 3 of those who survived are in critical condition.
They're all in an intensive care unit, being closely monitored and receiving active interventions with physicians at the bedside.
Ohio Governor John Kasich ordered all the rides to be shut down as additional safety inspections will be performed on them. No word yet on what caused the malfunction.
We will get to the bottom of this. We will investigate it. There will be complete transparency.
Inspectors say the Fireball was checked earlier in the day and there were no red flags.
My grandchildren ride this equipment, so our guys do not rush through this stuff. We look at it, we take care of it, and we pretend it's our own.
The 12-day fair will be open for its scheduled run. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
It is 6:08 now. Back in Florida, Governor Rick Scott wants to give an additional raise to law enforcers. The pay increase would be for highway patrol troopers, wildlife officers, and other law enforcement types. Legislators have already agreed to give the nearly 4,000 sworn law enforcement officers a 5% raise, but the governor wants an additional $30 million set aside next year. That money would also go to help recruit and retain officers.
Home prices are on the rise across our state as the number of sales continue to go up. According to the industry group Florida Realtors, the median price for a single-family home is now $245,000. That's up 9% from last year. Realtors say it's a matter of supply and demand, with prospective buyers outpacing the inventory of homes. Realtors say it's a seller's market right now.
What we're really experiencing are multiple offers. When homes are put on the market in really good condition, priced correctly, they sell fast.
More than 28,000 single-family homes were sold statewide in June. That's up more than 4% than last year. Prices of townhouses and condos are also rising.
You know, when I first covered Sarasota back in 2004, all the stories about the real estate boom, every story I did was real estate. 4 years later, recession hit, every story was real estate bust.
Right.
So cyclical. Nice to hear that things are selling again now.
Yeah, and you can also see the buildup of big companies and, you know, houses and hotels all across the Suncoast. We can see it here.
How quickly the prices have risen, too.
I know it.
Pretty amazing. And a little bubble going on, maybe.
I know we do. Ugh.
Forecast for you coming up in a few.
Also, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
We'll tell you about a Suncoast organization working to make sure veterans are properly honored after they pass away. Stay with us.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions?
Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Pack the family up in style in the all-new Chrysler Pacifica. With over 100 standard and available safety features, it's the ultimate family vehicle. Get yours today for just $24,999 or get America's best value. A new Dodge Journey for as little as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Got a little bit of debris cloud hanging around this morning. We also have a little bit of extra moisture to work with in the atmosphere. So our rain chances slightly higher than they were yesterday, coming in at about 30% near the coast and about 50% in inland areas. 80 already our air temperature outside with a dew point of 75. East wind light at about 7 will become more westerly as we head through the afternoon. Temperatures across the region generally a little cooler in inland areas, but not much because of the cloud cover, because of that humidity. 78 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, and Myakka. And we also have near the coastline temperatures that have already hit the 80-degree mark or exceeded it in some locations. 81 degrees Longboat Key, 80 degrees in Inglewood. So across the state of Florida, we have a couple of hot spots right now. Southern tip of the state where moisture is thicker, we have some ongoing showers. And then to the north where we've been talking about this trough of low pressure for days now, we still have some showers around the Jacksonville area. Offshore, some heavier showers. Locally, we have a few showers that have built up over the course of the last hour or so. These are really slow-moving showers and don't present much of a problem to most of the mainland. But during these early morning hours, sometimes a chance of a shower near the coast, and we're picking up a few of those now, mostly offshore. I think we'll see that continue on through probably the next couple of mornings. Scattered shower near the coastline, really not affecting much of the coast. Areas around Holmes Beach and then down around Upper Longboat Key may get a sprinkle. That's about it. Otherwise, during the later morning, early afternoon, coastal regions may see an isolated shower. And then everything moves inland in the second half of the afternoon, where the showers will become more widespread. As I said, about a 50% chance of an inland shower a little bit later today. And the thing is, those inland showers could be slow movers, and you could get a lot of rainfall under some of them. So high pressure, the dominant weather feature for us today. A little bit more moisture to work with brings us a little better rain chance, particularly when that west coast sea breeze starts to form during the mid-morning, late morning into the early afternoon. Small rain chances near the coast, but better rain chances inland. Mostly sunny skies, I think, through early morning as that cloud cover begins to mix away with the sun beginning to shine. Showers building in inland areas today, particularly in the second half of the afternoon, will be slow movers moving toward the other coast as that west coast sea breeze builds. And then I think tomorrow morning, a similar sort of situation. Maybe an isolated shower near the coast, better rain chances inland. Forecast for the tropics looks pretty good for the next couple of days, I think. The near Atlantic, the Caribbean, Gulf waters all look fine for us. Far away, we continue to watch this cluster of showers here. Hurricane Center now giving that area about a 30% chance of development within 5 days. As it continues on a course, it takes it generally westerly, maybe with a little bit of a northwesterly turn. It's got some issues in the long term. There's a lot of dry air out in front of it, so it will have a hard time developing. But we'll continue to watch it as we have plenty of time to do so. It's far away from us. West wind this afternoon at about 10 knots, easing up a little during the overnight. 2-foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters. Forecast calls for about a 30% chance of showers today, first near the coast, then inland later in the afternoon where rain chances will be higher. And then as we head into the weekend and the beginning of next work week, rain chances will go up significantly, more than double, in fact. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. If you're heading out the door in Manatee County this morning, you're going to see your normal slowdowns on 301 and State Road 70, I-75 and 41 looking good as we head into Sarasota County. Looks like there are some slowdowns on Bee Ridge and Fruitville Road as you head towards I-75. Clark Road looking good, and looks like 41 heading southbound is clear if you're heading into South County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. Not a whole lot going on. 6:18 on your Thursday morning. A proper U.S. military burial is an honor awarded to those who have served our country.
And when some vets don't have family and friends, one group steps in to help. Our Bobeth Yates explains.
They sacrificed years of their lives to protect our freedom. And even though some of their last days were spent in solitude, they were laid to rest with dignity and military honor.
From taps to the folding of the flag, two military veterans got an official send-off despite having no friends or family in the audience.
I got an email from the cemetery saying they were having funeral service for two veterans. Their remains were unclaimed. All we know is their names, dates of service, dates of birth, and dates of death. Know nothing else. No idea why, how, what the circumstances are.
Members from the Knights of Columbus, a fraternal service organization, stepped up to ensure those who served our country had the proper send-off. Vietnam vet, Army First Class Bressler Zelenka, and Seaman recruit Don Daniel were the day's honorees.
It's a patriotic thing to do, and that's why we do it.
But the issue of indigent vets with no one to claim their flags or bodies isn't uncommon. In fact, the Sarasota Military Commission has received an increased number of requests for members to attend funerals for the unknown.
Our first funeral was in May of 2010, and since that time, we've now attended unbroken 371 such funerals.
But funeral attendee Hank Pepard says the privilege is theirs.
I feel that it's the best thing to do for the veterans that have no family. Makes me feel great to want to represent them, you know, in honor of what they did for our country.
Sentiments echoed by Mara.
When it came time, they put on the uniform and served, so we want to make sure that someone is here to say the fond farewell, receive the flag of honor for their service to their country.
Sarasota National Cemetery hosts funerals for veterans without families on Wednesdays. Go to their website to get more information about the next funeral service. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Certainly a sad story there, and I want to give a big shout out to some of our viewers because I posted this story and the information about it on my Facebook page, and I had an overwhelmingly large amount of responses of people here in our community who said, I'll be there. I'll be there, and I will make sure that I will at least help honor those that were
wonderful.
buried.
That's a great service. I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's difficult. A lot of them, you know, don't have any family
Sure.
to move on with.
Life happens. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. What happened on that Alaskan cruise ship?
We'll tell you why the FBI is now investigating a possible murder on the high seas after this.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Oh, a pretty shot there of the sunrise in progress. Long day today.
Yeah, certainly a long day for you. You are going to be again back on the 7 p.m. show once again.
Yeah, 7 o'clock tonight. The issue is all about what happened to our coral.
Okay.
Is what's going on with the bleaching going on with the atmosphere. So we'll have that tonight at 7 o'clock. If you're around the TV set, we'll see you back here then to talk about that with some environmentalists in the area.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to tune in. Well, welcome back. It is 6:24 this morning, and the FBI is investigating a possible murder on the high seas.
Yeah, this after a passenger was found dead. ABC's Diane Macedo has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the FBI is investigating a suspicious death on board Alaskan cruise liner, the Emerald Princess. Princess Cruise Lines reports a 39-year-old woman from Utah who ABC has identified as Christy Manzanares died following some kind of domestic dispute.
They just said security breach, security breach. We could tell by the sound of his voice that it was something really scary and really serious.
Some witnesses tell ABC News that around 9 p.m. Tuesday, they heard a woman near a balcony screaming for her life, and at one point, a man threatening to jump overboard before security officers on board detained the suspect. One passenger says a member of her family saw the victim's young daughter moments after the incident, describing her as hysterical. And we'll have more on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
One laugh and hello, sensitive bladder. So I tried Always Discreet. I didn't think protection this thin could work, but the super absorbent core turns liquid to gel. So it's out of sight and out of mind. Always Discreet for bladder leaks.
This weekend at Kohl's Friends and Family Sale, take an extra 20% off your purchase. Get the gear, win the school year. Lace-up graphic tees are just $11.99. Score young men's shorts for $15.99. And juniors denim for $19.99. Plus, get Kohl's cash too. Game on. Kohl's.
Good is in every Blue Diamond almond. And once good gets going, there's no stopping it. Blue Diamond almonds, get your good going.
I can't believe how great this tastes.
I can't believe it comes in
Vegan and organic.
Try I can't believe it's not butter in 2 new ways. It's vegan and it's organic.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now. Operators are standing by.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Junior, but the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, are abandoned boats affecting the appearance of Sarasota's bayfront? How the community's concern is now igniting action.
Plus, we'll hear from the man who went for a swim in a retention pond and was attacked by a 9-foot alligator.
And a piece of Suncoast history gets torn down. Why church staff say it's time to move on. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back, everyone. Beautiful sunrise this morning. A little bit of a cotton candy looking sky on this Friday Eve. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. I had a John Scalzi appreciation moment yesterday. You know what happened? I saw him in the parking lot. He comes out of the building, looks up at the sky, like any weatherman would do, right?
Of
He looks
course,
up, checking his conditions. Yeah, always on the job.
Yes.
Once I had a professor said, if you look up, you'll never be bored. He was
like
right.
that.
He's right. There's so many beautiful things to see up in the sky. Today, if you look up and you're in, say, Holmes Beach, you might see some lightning flashes out in Gulf waters. We've got a line of showers that's kind of developed. That is in response to, I think, some outflow from storms that we had overnight in DeSoto County. DeSoto saw some pretty decent rainfall. So did Hardy, actually, yesterday in inland areas. Some of that outflow creating this line of storms that you see there. Really not going to affect land all that much. Might get a little patch of drizzle along the coastline. By mid-morning, maybe we'll see a few showers begin to develop over land, and then later in the afternoon, again, pretty good chance of seeing some inland storms, about 50%. But along the coast, we're only going to bump up the rain chance about 10% to about 30%. Daytime highs again warm. Complete forecast in a minute.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, John. You see a little buildup there as the Cortez wraps around toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County. A little more activity right now in Sarasota County. First off, you see 301 southbound around 10th Street, some action there. Also, Bee Ridge heading westbound by Tuttle right there. And farther south, not much to report at 6:32 on your Thursday morning.
Our top story this morning, trashed and abandoned boats along parts of Bayfront Park in Sarasota is now causing a major upset for those who regularly visit the area.
Our Rick Adams shows us what's being done to clean up the area.
This is what people walking through Bayfront Park in Sarasota have been seeing. Lots and lots of boats situated on or near the land, some of them appearing to be abandoned. Longtime Sarasota resident Blair Crook says he and his wife walk through the park often. He tells us it's been very upsetting to have this ruining the beauty of the park.
We continue to walk this area and notice that these boats have been piling up here, and it wasn't like this years ago. I don't see that it's a temporary issue. We're seeing the same boats month after month.
Crook says some of these boats have been here for up to a year. He and others are also upset about the trash being left behind. Some of these smaller boats that aren't abandoned belong to the people living on their boats out on Sarasota Bay, allowing them to go back and forth between the water and the land.
It's not a pleasant situation, and I would prefer to see that they were boats that were well maintained or at least maintained and at least had some kind of identification that they weren't abandoned craft.
City officials say that the state has instructed municipalities, including Sarasota, to stop tagging these boats for now, while a class action lawsuit involving Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is resolved. The city tells us they will look into these concerns over the boats and then decide what to do next.
Well, I think some responsibility, either cleaning up after these boats, underneath these boats, removing a lot of these boats would be a start.
Reporting from Bayfront Park in Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A follow-up now on that disturbing video with a Suncoast connection of a shark being dragged behind a boat. The video of these men off the coast near Palmetto has since gone viral, triggering outrage not only in the fishing community but across the country. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is still investigating that incident, but they did release a statement saying they have identified the individuals in the video and would like to thank the public for their assistance. Their names, however, have not yet been released officially. One shark expert from Mote Marine Laboratory says he just hopes the animal was dead before it was dragged.
This was torture, plain and simple. I mean, there's no doubt that that animal was in distress. It couldn't breathe properly that way if it was still alive.
FWC officials say it's too early to speculate what, if any, violations took place in this incident until they put together more of the facts about the conditions in that video.
A local convicted triple murderer is now getting more prison time. Andres Avalos Jr. took a plea deal for the attempted murder of a fellow inmate while he was awaiting trial at the Manatee County Jail. As part of that deal, 15 more years were tacked onto his sentence. You recall back in May, Avalos was found guilty of killing his wife, his wife's boss, and her friend 2.5 years ago in Manatee County. Avalos was sentenced to 3 life prison terms without the possibility of parole. A possible break in a 2013 murder case from Manatee County. 4 years ago, detectives found the body of Jasmine Quintano in her Bradenton apartment. That same day, her ex-boyfriend, who you just saw, Andres Calazos, took a flight from Fort Lauderdale to Columbia. Well, a warrant was quickly issued for his arrest, but he was never found until now. The FBI tracked him down and placed him under arrest.
This was a very high-profile homicide. The victim in this case, Jasmine, was very well liked here, worked at the clerk of court's office, and so a lot of people at the sheriff's office knew of her. So we're just happy that they were able to get him down there. Very, very happy for the family to be able to finally look at this case and say, yes, the person responsible is behind bars.
Now the suspect is still in Columbia. No word when he'll return to Manatee County for trial.
Following the death of beloved Snooty the manatee, the South Florida Museum is now strongly considering a third-party review. Officials with the museum in Bradenton reaching out to the Manatee Rescue and Rehabilitation Partnership to look into circumstances surrounding his death. The recently turned 69-year-old manatee got stuck in a 30 by 30-inch tunnel used to access plumbing for his tank, a passage that is usually blocked by an access panel that is bolted shut. Divers say they inspect the tank daily but found nothing wrong during a visual inspection last weekend. Snooty was certified in 2015 as the longest living manatee in captivity.
A homeless man is still recovering today, 3 days after being attacked by an alligator in Port Charlotte. Here he is, 68-year-old Frederick Inman. He was bathing in a retention pond Monday morning, and as he got out, a 9-foot gator attacked him from behind. He says he tried to get away as the gator tried to pull him back in. He eventually escaped and then walked or limped up the street to a nearby surgery center where employees called 911. He says it happened very fast.
I was kind of in agony. You're having a nice day one minute, and the next minute you're, a bloody mess.
Yeah, his day took a sharp turn. In the attack, he lost his left index finger, 2 left toes, and also has injuries to his groin.
Well, a piece of Suncoast history is being torn down. Crews are in the middle of demolishing the Whitfield Presbyterian Church on North Tamiami Trail. It's a sad sight for many people who live in the area who remember the church back in its heyday. It opened in the 1950s as the first drive-in church in the country. Members could pull up behind the church, stay in their car, and listen to the church service through their speakers, just like a drive-in movie.
It was always a joke that they could sit there in their jammies and eat their breakfast and have kids playing in the car or sleeping or something like that and still be able to go to church on a Sunday morning.
Well, the church continued to do drive-in services until the end of 2015, but the congregation size was dwindling and church staff had a difficult time maintaining the building. They sold it last year and moved to a new church in Bradenton this past January. In the IMG Academy, Ascenders are back on the gridiron. The football team is now preparing for their upcoming season, which starts in just a few weeks. This year's team features 98 players, which has been divided into 2 teams. The roster features 20 players who are already committed to playing at NCAA Division I schools. We caught up with IMG's head coach and one of this year's star players who talked about what makes IMG football so special.
We try and be innovative and find ways to do it, maybe better, or to help kids get more opportunities, when they come here.
Just prepares you for the next level mentally and physically, and then the coaching is great, and then just the love and genuine, and the college readiness, the classes, the schedule, everything.
IMG Academy is coming off an undefeated regular season and will be playing some of the top high school football teams from across the country.
And an update now on 2 popular events in our area. Charlotte County is giving the Englewood Beach Water Fest $50,000 worth of in-kind services, and also $30,000 will go toward the Florida International Air Show at the Punta Gorda Airport. Commissioners say both events are economic generators for the area. The air show will take place in mid-October, and the Water Fest takes part in mid-November. 2 big, long-time events here on the Suncoast.
Sounds like a good time. I'm looking forward to them.
It does. Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. We have a little better rain chances today than we had yesterday, and I think possibly another very warm and humid afternoon shaping up for us. We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Why does Michael Jackson's estate owe millions of dollars more than 8 years after his death?
We'll tell you how a legal battle with a famous producer is costing the estate after this.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me.
Oh, they're playing my song.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
A little bit more moisture in the atmosphere, a little bit of cloud cover and some fairly calm winds. Lack of rainfall yesterday, all add up to some very warm morning temperatures. Got a thunderstorm in progress, mostly off the coastline. But nevertheless, if you're along the coast, along the barrier islands, looking out to the west, you'll probably see a couple flashes of lightning off in the distance. We have a better rain chance today because of a higher dew point value, not only at the surface, but aloft as well. It's going to be a muggy afternoon, no doubt about it, but hopefully you'll be one of those folks that gets a little bit of a shower to break some of the heat. That'll be true in inland areas, particularly Hardy, DeSoto, inland Charlotte, all likely to see a shower develop a little bit later on, a thunderstorm or two as well. 77 in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca at 78, so's Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch at 79, Northport at 78, and along the coastline, just a tad bit cooler with 81 Longboat Key and 79s in Inglewood. We have a trough of low pressure located to the north, sparking off a shower or two there, some scattered showers down to the south. And after a daytime high of 93 degrees yesterday, we got some late day storms that built inland, and some of the outflow of those storms has triggered off some showers out in Gulf waters. And pretty good thunderstorms actually out here at times over the last hour or so. I think along the coastline we have about a 30% chance today of seeing a few showers build, mostly during the morning to late morning hours, followed by late afternoon inland showers and thunderstorms, where the rain chance inland will be about 50%. So we'll watch these showers continue to build. They're very slow movers. They're likely to die out right where they are, which is out in Gulf waters. But a few locations may see a little bit of a shower on land. In fact, Anna Maria probably seeing a fairly decent downpour of rain, Holmes Beach as well. So good for them. Down to the south near Osprey, a little bit of light rain falling there. That'll be the case through the morning hours, a hit and miss shower, and you can see a few pops of lightning about 15 miles out in Gulf waters. Across the region, otherwise pretty tranquil morning commute conditions. Don't expect much in the way of rainfall during the morning hours. Later in the morning into the early afternoon, these showers will transition into inland areas. The thing is, these are going to be slow movers, as you just saw with those Gulf water storms. So if you happen to be under one of them, you could get a lot of rainfall, but they'll be still kind of few and far between compared to a normal summer day because of that ridge of high pressure, because of that slightly drier air aloft. But at least it's a little more moisture available today than there was yesterday. We're going to continue with this process of moistening our atmosphere each and every day for the next several days. And we're going to watch a frontal boundary to the north of us continue to sink southward until we get to a point where our rain chances return to about normal for this time of year, which will be most likely on Sunday and then carrying on through the beginning of next work week. For today, expect to see small rain chances near the coast, but better than yesterday, about 30% chance today. And then even better rain chances in inland areas at about 50%, slow movers at that. Mostly sunny skies after we mix away some of this cloud cover around. We'll watch the showers build in inland areas, move toward the other coast. And then tomorrow morning, again, we have a chance at seeing a few scattered showers near the coast in the AM as we have this westerly wind flow. Tropics look quiet, but far out in the center of the Atlantic waters, we have one area of disturbed weather that could indeed produce a chance at seeing some development over the next 5 days, but a small chance. Forecast calls for about a 30% chance of rain over the next couple of days, followed by much better rain chances as we head into the end of the weekend and the beginning of next work week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at traffic in Manatee County. Looks like if you're heading throughout 301 or State Road 70, you may see a little slowdown. Also, it looks like up towards Ellington, there is some slowdowns and more congestion. But the bridges, the DeSoto and Green Bridge, are looking pretty good this morning. And Sarasota County looks like some congestion on 301 as you pass by that split towards 41 as you're heading up towards University. And Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Road are looking good. South County pretty quiet this morning, 6:47 on your Thursday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, a new study suggests 1 in 3 cases of dementia could be prevented if more people looked after their brain health throughout their life.
Yeah, there are steps you can take right now. The key risk factors include smoking and physical inactivity. Experts also predict the number of people with dementia could triple worldwide by the year 2050. Researchers say they don't have enough data yet to include dietary factors or alcohol in their study, but believe both could be very important. Entertainment news now. A jury says that Michael Jackson's estate owes legendary producer Quincy Jones more than $9 million.
And that's just in royalties and production fees from Billie Jean, Thriller, and more of the superstar's biggest hits. Jones claims that songs used in the concert film This Is It, as well as 2 Cirque du Soleil shows, used Jackson's songs improperly and then re-edited them to deprive Jones of royalties and production fees.
There's a big prize fight, Mayweather and McGregor, on August 26th, and movie theaters across the country will air the fight between the mixed martial artist McGregor and the undefeated boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. Ticket prices are $41, which is much cheaper than going to watch the fight live, which starts close to $2,000 per ticket.
Lots of people heading out for that. Well, there's a new star now gracing the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Actor Jason Bateman was recognized as the newest honoree yesterday. He began his career with a recurring role in the series Little House on the Prairie. Since then, he's made a name in the industry, juggling roles as a director and an actor. Bateman says he's very grateful to be honored.
And for being able to work with enough good people to not only learn an enormous amount, but to find in them some friends that have changed the way I see the world and the way that I want to live in it.
While some of Bateman's more notable credits include Horrible Bosses, Ozarks, and Zootopia. Horrible Bosses is actually one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love him and Jennifer Aniston in that movie.
Oh, yeah, right. His sister was popular years ago before he was. I think Justine Bateman was on the show with Michael J. Fox decades ago. But now,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, not Family Ties, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
10 to 7 right now. Still heading Good Morning Suncoast. We'll update your day's top local news headlines, and it's playtime for these baby pandas.
We'll tell you more on how these adorable little animals are going through panda kindergarten when we come back.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Not a bad sunrise in progress here on the Suncoast.
Beautiful pink sun right there at the bottom of your screen. You can see it. Looks very nice. Pink orange, I guess you would call it, maybe.
Look at the eyes at the top of the screen.
Oh, there you go. I guess if you look at it in a certain way, it kind of looks like a face.
Something at the tongue at the bottom. All right, welcome back, 6:54.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories on the Suncoast today.
A 68-year-old homeless man from Charlotte County is now talking about his swim with an alligator earlier this week. The man said he was getting out of the retention pond after a bath when the 9-foot gator attacked him. He lost some fingers and toes. He's currently hospitalized in Fort Myers.
Plus, a piece of Suncoast history is coming down. Crews are demolishing the Whitfield Presbyterian Church on North Tamiami Trail. The church opened in the 1950s as the first ever drive-in church in the country.
And a big boost for two local popular events. Charlotte County is offering in-kind services to support the Punta Gorda Air Show in October and the Englewood Beach Water Fest in November. They'll receive $30,000 and $50,000 respectively.
In Manatee County, you'll see your normal slowdowns on 301 and State Road 70 if you're heading out the door this morning. The DeSoto and Green Bridge, as well as I-75, looking clear as we head into Sarasota County. Bee Ridge, Clark, and Fruitville Road are looking good. It looks like there is some slowdowns on 41 heading southbound as you head into Osprey, but other than that, Venice-Nokomis looking good. John?
A line of showers out in Gulf waters will pretty much die right where they are out in the Gulf. About 10-15 miles, there's a thunderstorm out there. You may see a flash or two of lightning. Otherwise, watch for some coastal showers first during the mid-morning hours, about a 30% chance of that, followed by inland showers later in the afternoon. Rain chance inland, about 50%, and we'll start to crank up those rain chances in the second half of the weekend.
All right, thank you, John. Finally, life is looking pretty good for a group of pandas in southwestern China. They're enjoying school at the China Conservation and Research Center for Giant Pandas. Their enclosure is equipped with a full playground that has wheelbarrows, swings, bamboo, and also plenty of company. This is just an average day in what the center calls Panda Kindergarten. The center says there are less than 2,000 giant pandas worldwide.
Wait, I want to go to Panda Kindergarten.
That does look like fun, doesn't it?
That looks relaxing.
I could watch that all day in an endless loop.
Right.
That's not many pandas, is it, worldwide?
Yeah, 2,000 left.
That's it, yeah. Thank goodness for the zoos that are helping to keep them going.
That's right. All right, stay cool today. Another hot one. Enjoy your Thursday.
Stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next.